Have you ever been frustrated with how bad your fuel economy is when towing a big fifth wheel? Recently, one of my clients asked me about a modification to their diesel truck. This was advertised as a warranty-friendly way of tuning your engine to get better fuel economy. My client was saying they get between 8 and 10 miles to the gallon, which is pretty abysmal. So is it worth this upgrade to get better fuel economy, like 12 or 14 miles to the gallon? I actually have this modification on my truck, but I want to talk about the cons of it and why this is usually not the right thing for you in your situation. If you're new here, my name is Jacob. I'm an RV technician, and I have a bunch of free resources for you on my website, including my Don't Buy a Lemon guide to help you spot defects in RVs, and my 4-point Don't Get Stranded checklist that covers 4 of the most common reasons that I've been called out to stuck campers and how you can avoid this happening to you. So first of all, what is this retuning your engine thing? Modern engines that have a computer to control them optimize the engine to get as much power as they can while reducing emissions. Now, this actually naturally puts a constraint on how much power they can get. More power can actually increase your fuel economy because the engine is not being worked as hard. The consequence is that your emissions are higher. There's a huge aftermarket industry of companies that are selling a tool for reprogramming the computer in your truck. When they reprogram the control computer, that's called putting a tune on it. And by reprogramming, you can actually get several miles per gallon better fuel economy. For this video, I'm only talking about a off-the-shelf economy tune, not any other types of modifications. I actually have this modification on my truck, but I want to talk about the cons of it. The first con is that you run a higher risk of breaking your engine and transmission. When the automakers designed the truck as a whole, they actually designed the system to dissipate the maximum amount of heat that that engine can produce. When these custom performance diesel modules alter how much fuel is going into an engine, it creates more heat, more horsepower, more fuel economy, but if you're not monitoring your exhaust gas temperature, you're running much higher risk of damaging something, especially if you're starting to tow up a mountain. Exhaust gas temperatures can spike far sooner than your overall engine coolant temperature will spike. You may end up damaging your engine without even seeing the engine overheat by the normal gauges. I'll have some tips on how to minimize this risk at the end of the video. But before that, let's talk about the second problem. The second con is that doing this will almost certainly void your warranty. The warranty is for your car as they designed it, including how they programmed the engine control computer. And the thing about this warranty-friendly engine control module is it is technically not reprogramming your engine control computer. It's a little box that goes in between the control computer and your engine, and it modifies the information controlling the engine. So it has the same exact effect as reprogramming the control computer without actually reprogramming the control computer. If you go to their website and read about what it means to be warranty friendly, they literally say on the website that many automakers will still deny warranty claims if they see that you have this module plugged in, so you should remove it before taking it into service. In other words, warranty friendly does not mean it's acceptable under warranty. It just means that it is easier for you to commit warranty fraud. If you add up how many miles you're going to be driving and how many dollars you're going to be saving, is it really worth the risk of damaging your engine and costing $10,000 of engine repairs? This leads me to the third and final con you should be aware of, which is the higher emissions. Assuming that you're not concerned about the increased emissions for your particular truck, some states have laws regarding emissions, and a module like this to modify your engine may be in violation of those laws. Where I live, it happens to be legal to make a modification like this, but that might not be true in your state. After hearing the cons, let's assume that you've decided you still want this type of modification on your truck. Before we get into my tips on how to not break your truck with one of these, if you're planning on using a truck to tow an RV, you should check out my safe towing course. If you end up buying an RV that is too big for your truck, not only do you get even worse fuel economy and you risk breaking your truck, but you also risk getting into a rollover accident. I've designed a safe towing course to help you match an appropriate truck an RV. I also have a promotion right now where if you buy my RV shopping course and safe towing course together, you can get them at a discount. Now let's talk about 2 tips for how to avoid breaking your truck. If you do this modification, keep in mind that you only get better fuel economy if you don't have your foot in the accelerator all the time. Driving with a lead foot is going to generate more heat in the engine and increase the chances of breaking things. If you drive it with a very light foot, then you will overall get better fuel economy and see some savings at the gas pump. The second tip is to be conscious of where you drive. The biggest benefit from an economy tune like this is going to be when you're just rolling down the highway. But the real danger is when you get into situations that are more demanding of the engine. I don't really recommend any sort of diesel tune unless you really go and consult with diesel tuning experts about how you intend to use it and what you're going to need to do that safely. If you're pulling an RV up and over mountains or through hills, you can have custom programs that take into consideration the exhaust gas temperature and detune the engine to prevent overheating and failure of components. If you simply slap on a module that changes the performance of the engine without that extra monitor, most of the time you'll be fine. But in the situations where you're not fine, you can do a tremendous amount of damage. If you got a truck that's outside of warranty and you want to go to a pro performance diesel shop and have it retuned and modified and get all kinds of amazing performance, go for it. But that's a lot of money. For the average RVer who's going to go on a trip a couple of weeks out of the year, I honestly don't think that just trying to get a few more miles per gallon is worth the risk. If you want to watch all of my videos on safe towing, including how to avoid a rollover accident, click here. Or if you want to watch me go undercover at RV dealerships to review RVs, click here.